Hello. These are the days of rapid transit, and as people of all races surge through and around each other, and religions from one part of the world encounter religions from another, and watch each other's jaws drop, you have two options. You either put up the barricades, or you extend a hand and show interest. For some on the Christian side, this is a time for dialogue. For others, it's a time for the barricades, because as they see it, the plain truths of Christianity are being blurred out of existence. As this series of programs runs its 10-week course, a group of leading Christian evangelicals, calling themselves the Open Letter Group, will be launching their campaign to thunder out their message that there is one Jesus, that he is Lord, and Jesus does not dialogue with other faiths.
I'm one of, I think, very many Anglicans who are worried about this concept of people of all faiths coming together in a Christian place of worship in order to worship different beings, whether it's trees or living gods or whatever. And I don't feel that that is the right way forward.
I think this is part of the inevitable exclusive claims of Christianity that go back to Jesus himself. He got into trouble with the Jewish authorities because he was saying he was the final revelation of everything they already believed. He was the final revelation of God for the whole world, and we have to continue to make that sort of claim for him.
This programme, Faith, Hope and Clarity, acknowledges that all this is going on, but sets its face firmly in the opposite direction. Standing by and ready to talk are 5 people, a Buddhist, a Jew, a Muslim, a Christian and a Hindu, representing, in religious terms, and begging China's pardon, the big league. For 2,000 years and more, they have not been relegated, nor, so far, has any upstart club managed to get a foothold alongside them, though there's still time. Each week, 2 of these representatives will be filling these chairs and facing a large issue on which they are known to have views. My role is to have the courage of my ignorance and tell my companions what I think they think. Their role is to tell me where I'm wrong. You'll see how it works. Today's issue, nothing like starting big, is the absolute, the almighty God. Facing the challenge are a Buddhist and a Christian, and we'll start with the Christian. Christians claim first. No Buddhist would put God anywhere. Speculation about eternity is discouraged in the most basic forms of Buddhism. Concentration is on the here and now, the need to penetrate who we are, what tight corner we find ourselves in, and how we escape the wall-to-wall craving that equals human life. The one who woke up to an understanding of these things is the Buddha. The path of the Buddha bypasses God as one of the 1,001 distractions that serious wayfarers do without.
According to Buddhism, there's nothing created. Everything comes as cause and effect.
How is it that the idea of God has arisen in the world?
As we Buddhists believe, purely due to the fear and also due to ignorance.
Fear and ignorance?
Yes, fear and ignorance. Ignorance means not understanding things as they really are. Because when the things naturally came to be, or when natural things happen, they didn't know how to tackle with and how to handle with it and how to realize it. And they thought that there was a powerful being who does these things, or there was a powerful being behind it, of all those things. And to prevent from any danger from that powerful being, they started venerating or praising or praying that unseen being, whom they have created by themselves as a God.
How did we emerge?
Absolute first cause is not to be found, because it was in the dim past.
And there's no point spending energy trying to go back to the first cause.
No point at all, because it doesn't help us to solve the problems in the modern, the present day life.
Does anything come to our rescue when things get rough in Buddhism?
Nothing from outside. And we have to go back to say cause and effect. And we have to thought about what is in the popular language, we say karma and results.
I didn't understand.
Actions and results.
Actions and results.
And results.
And you have to look into that for, to explain the position you are in.
Yes, and our position will be explained by karmic theory.
Karmic theory.
Yeah, karmic theory. And those who have done good things are happy and they are enjoying, and those who have done bad deeds in the past, they are not happy, or they are unhappy, or sometimes we can say they are suffering.
We sometimes need, as human beings, a parental hug or a shoulder to cry on. Now, where does a Buddhist find that sort of comfort?
We don't have anybody to hug for comfort, as man has created God to have that comfort. In Buddhism, we don't have something of that nature, and we are born of our karma or actions, and we are dependent on our actions, and it is our action that our own actions will do everything for us.
Where does compassion come in? There's no God to give compassion. Where does compassion come from?
Compassion is not coming from outside. It is a human feeling. It's like not only compassion, love, compassion, kindness, sympathetic joy, equanimity. These are human feelings and human emotions. They are not coming from outside, and we can create them, and we can be comforted by ourselves, thinking about our own lifestyle, our way of living. When we do good things, we can be comforted by ourselves. Oh, I have done good things. And well, I have done something good. And that gives comfort. And on the other hand, compassion, wisdom.
Compassion is
compassion
wisdom.
And wisdom.
And wisdom.
Compassion gives us knowledge, say it shows us what's the problem. And then wisdom gives us the power to think what to do.
A personal belief in God has given thousands of people the courage to forget themselves and do very brave things. Now, if you take God away, what inspiration is there in Buddhism to do brave things?
Well, not only God idea, even the nationality has given them brave. And those who go for wars, many thousands of those who go for wars are very brave because of their national feelings. In Buddhism, there's no such thing as bravery given by someone else or depending on the Buddha or depending on someone else. That energy and confidence come from within.
Now, is there a danger in Buddhism of over-concentration on one's own self and on one's own life, thus cutting one adrift from other people and other people's problems?
Over-concentration on anything is dangerous.
Over-concentration?
Over-concentration, because exaggeration of anything can make you excited, and no calmness or tranquility can be in you when you are excited through exaggeration of something. And also when you concentrate too much, then you may become lazy and therefore have the moderate path.
So it seems as if Buddhism is a sword which attacks ignorance and which attacks fear, and therefore attacks any idea of God.
Not attacking the idea of God, it attacks the ignorance, it attacks the hatred, and it attacks the selfish desire.
But it also attacks, in your view, does it, the wrong opinion of
Wrong
believing in God?
Yes, non-understanding, ignorance, yes.
Now, Dr. Page, a Buddhist says that God is a human invention born out of human fear and ignorance. How do you answer that?
I would find it, from a Christian point of view, an inadequate account of God. God is more than the projection of human weakness, that God is something that precedes even our discovery of human weakness. So that God is not the strong one who is strong against our powerlessness, but rather is the one who gives us the desire for being a full human, for being powerful in that sense. So this is not a God who is a substitute for human power at all.
And maybe, from the Buddhist point of view, it's all being looked at, in your view, a little simplistically.
I think that would be true. I would not deny that fear and ignorance have been around and have made people think of God, but I would deny that that's all there is to belief in God.
Now, in Buddhist countries, fearful and ignorant people turn up at God shrines and they do various seances and they comfort themselves and talk about their money and their crops and so on. Do they undercut Buddhism?
They are not undercutting Buddhism by doing all these things, because of when they are in troubles, they go to these things to get some form of solace and some relief from. And Buddhism is entirely free for them. Buddhism gives them the entire freedom to go wherever they like to go. But certainly, Buddhism gives them guidance to make them, or to realize themselves, how they are and what they are, how these things happen.
Where do you think Buddhism slightly makes you recoil? What quality are you hearing that makes you say, oh, I'm not a Buddhist?
I find difficulties in Buddhism, as I understand Buddhism, in the way in which it teaches people to be self-sufficient, to cultivate a distance, it seems like, from the world. And the way in which it gives no value to the world as a whole and to every life within that totality, the whole of evolution, the whole of history. Within Christian thinking, it all has purpose, it all has direction and value. And every life, even the most circumscribed life, has value within it. And it's not a matter of good or bad karma, it's a matter of the relationship with God from where you are and how you are. And this I don't find in Buddhism as I understand it.
Do you think Buddhism undervalues life?
It does not. And it gives the full value of life. To bring out the complete human dignity and the value to a person through improving oneself, the self-improvement, which contributes tremendously to the improvement of the society.
Can I ask, is there any end to the self-improvement? What happens
And
then?
we say the perfection,
Yeah.
to be perfect, and that's the whole aim of Buddhist way of life.
I think in Christianity we have no such hope that humanity can be perfect.
In Buddhism we say the perfect beings like Buddha, and they have become perfect through their own effort. And to get that perfection, no others can help them other than showing them the path how to become them perfect.
As you're becoming perfect, do you care about what's happening to other people?
Exactly. And the The main principles of Buddhism is compassion and wisdom. Entire Buddhist teaching is based on compassion. And we can expand a little bit more what we say: love, compassion, sympathetic joy, equanimity, and these are called divine qualities which can be developed by human beings in their own hearts.
Well, we say they're divine qualities as well, which can be developed by human beings within their own heart. But we find the ground, the source, and the goal of them in God.
And we find them in human beings, in human hearts.
Yes.
I have a feeling that if the mix of Christianity and Buddhism got together, it could be mighty explosive. And I feel there is evidence around that it is happening among particularly monastic communities. Many Buddhists are encountering many Christians, and when they drop the words, when they don't conceptualize and try and pin each other down, there is enormous amount in common. Now, am I speaking any truth? Have you noticed anything like this? Have you noticed?
Yes, you are. You are speaking truth. And when we use these terms, Christianity or Buddhism, these names have no value in them. And the value is what it taught us and what it teaches us. And Buddhism, Buddha never said that he was teaching Buddhism. And he taught the teaching how to improve ourselves, how to be perfect.
And bore witness to the truth.
That's true.
And the truth is the truth under whatever banner it masquerades.
Yes, that's right. Exactly.
Thank you, Dr. Page. Thank you, Pandit Vajrayana. The bone we pick at next week is humanity, Adam and his rib, and we'll be throwing it to a Hindu and a Jew. Goodbye.
As Rothermere said, in next week's programme at the same time, he casts clarity on the creation story seen by Jews and Hindus.